People who have used the dark web, the deep web. What's the most surprising thing you've seen? I found a store for Apple products and in the website there was Q&A. One of the questions was how is it so cheap, and its answer was all of our products is stolen. Honesty is their motto. Blogs. Normal mundane blogs. Who is reading this stuff? Why is it posted here? It's really fascinating. I wish I could find them again. A group of 4 or 5 people convincing a 15-year-old girl that life is worth living and that suicide isn't the option. She had posted on a forum asking what was the best, most painless way to kill herself. A wholesome dark web. I found one service once upon a time that I usually mention when talk comes up in conversation. In short, this guy would randomize your mail for 6-7 weeks before you planned to get a delivery of something illegal, but he had no involvement in the shipping of anything illegal. You'd pay this guy a couple $100, and he'd send things to your residence on a weekly basis. Week 1, ice skates. Week 2, a board game. Week 3, sneakers. Week 4, an Xbox controller. So on and so forth. So, you'd give him a schedule and a date of when you'd be ordering something illegal, and he'd spam your place with various packages of random, innocuous retail bulls from distributors around the world leading up to the date you'd get drugs, or whatever shipped to your home, in order to randomize your mail and create a pattern, or lack thereof, that, allegedly, would help decrease the chances that your illegal order would ping some USPS monitor. Week 5, a time bomb. Week 6, Tifu by ordering drugs through dark web. How mundane it is. Either the dark web would be all cool hacker man 0111010001. It's really just the normal internet with more drugs to purchase and Bitcoin crypto instead of PayPal eBay. There is a lot of very boring things like blogs, and everything is just more anonymous. It's like the entire internet is 4chan. I don't know how it is today, but I suspect a lot of those drug link sites are dead after the Silk Road bust recently. Silk Road 2 is up and running. Well, it was this past summer. I had an acquaintance who pushed his body weight in pills every week, until he was eventually caught lol. But he was using Silk Road 2 this summer. Silk Road only went down because of its affiliation to a Bitcoin company. They flew too close to the sun and left a paper trail. That the item I purchased on the DNM actually turned up on my doorstep, and that it worked brilliantly. The amount of dead links. I remember reading about, I think it was on Reddit, one dude who just sold potatoes through the dark web, and really good ones too. I like that story. I've seen sandwiches being sold. The amount of veggie teens who like to pretend they were criminals by posting stuff there. Somebody was selling a ham sandwich on the Silk Road back in the day. I wonder if anyone bought it. The ham sandwich was seized and is sitting in evidence right beside all the bitcoins. That the book I wanted to borrow from the library was actually in stock. Those bastards. There was a site that used to sell cookies, like they were of amazing quality, and there were a ton of flavors, also a ton of fake hire a hitman sites. Most links and pages are dead, no longer working. Kinda disappointing, but I guess that's better than seeing something I'd regret. I've heard so much about this place from people, then when I finally got in it looked lame as crap. Also it's slow as crap. You live up to your name. Parta-papa. Organs for sale. I know there would be drugs, guns, fake money, etc. But that's some weird crap. You can buy organs at a piano store. How nice the people are, oddly unarmed, with hitmen. Society is a polite society. The number of people selling PayPal accounts with more money on them than the price. I stumbled across 2 blogs, which contained pretty detailed info about 1. How to eat a human in the most effective way. 2. How to perform necrophilia in a graveyard. I didn't know what to do with that information. Probably to eat humans and frick corpses. The old Silk Road forum was amazing. Sellers arguing on who got the better products, offering stuff for free to some users so they could compare it themselves. Many years ago I used to take photos of various substances for a local guy an hour from my house for his Silk Road shop. Never took him up on any offers of freebies, but the money was good. Not something I found on my own, but apparently there is or was a dating website where you would sign up and they would send you a shirt that you wore for 3 days without showering and then you would send it back. Then they would send you other shirts and you would pick who you wanted to date based on their smell. There was this whole deep psychological argument behind it about human pheromones. What surprised me was that it wouldn't look out of place on the surface web. A ridiculous number forums for talking about kid diddling. Buff. Do not diddle kids, it's no good diddling kids. A recipe for the best goddamn pizza I ever made. Well, if I ever go on the dark web, I'm definitely going to be looking for recipes and not hitmen and drugs. 1 credit cards and documents. $10 for a $500 credit card. I also learned about carding without trying it, which is when I understood the darknet is not for newbies like me. 2 fake money. 3 Amazon like bazaar for drugs with reviews. Was fun enough to read the reviews. Oh, I also don't do drugs, but I really wanted to see a bazaar. Oh, I also don't do drugs. We get it, you vape. Probably enough LSD to make all of Nick go crazy for less than $100 K. I wonder how much of it was real LSD though. A grumpy old grandma trying to find a 20-person bus for church. Next. I have seen a RPG rocket launcher for sale. I once found a forum connecting people to hitmen. Some of the offers users seemed legit, but my favorite posting was some guy offering to punch anyone in the balls for $50, and for an extra $50 he would film it. People for sale, no joke. That it's not all red rooms and doom. Normal internet crap exists there too. That being said, I don't plan to return there. How normal it was. It's honestly just people who value their privacy. Thinking the dark web is only used to illegal activity is like thinking Bitcoin is only used for money laundering. I realize that you could pay people to steal things for you. Cat fact generator. For those using Tor RN2V7IBL5U4 Bemwizonion, enjoy. Hitmen are cheaper than I thought. Some of the pages actual look pretty Web 2.0y. I always imagined you get a little picture and a bio, like you get when you choose a puppy from the adoption center. Meet Igor. His specialities include waterboarding, sniping and making it look like suicide. When he's not killing, he enjoys yoga, hiking and romantic nights in. I just went there for the thrill after hearing about it like any edgelord. The 3 worst things I found. A site that made the Revenge Prince site they took down some time ago look like a vanilla milkshake getting drinked by Owen Wilson driving a Volvo. I noped out of there the second I realized it was genuine. Cult of Cthulhu. A forum. This was screenshots posted on Reddit. Never actually visited the site, where diddlers shared stories, and this guy told his story. He was under the impression he was having consensual physical relations with an 8-year-old. I have never entered the deep web since, but the most surprising, you clicked a link. The website's name show up on a dark blue background. There are stars everywhere on the site, blinking in a distant haze. The website invites you by having a button that says begin in purple. I feel my heart go missing, and I press the button. Welcome to Random Cat Facts on the Dark Web. Click next for your new feline fact jaw. I learned that cats guard the tombs of Egyptian pharaohs, which is pretty neat I guess. TLDR. Random Cat Facts. Unsubscribe. There's this website for anonymously confessing your secrets. Sometimes I'll spend a good hour clicking through them. Usually they're just something like I cheated on my boyfriend or an ad for see they're selling. Sometimes they get a bit more shocking, like debauchery incest confessions. I also kept seeing the same one over and over with a guy saying he loves child P and can't help himself, with a WhatsApp number to send pictures to. There's one I'll never forget, though. It was a long story this guy wrote about his life. He's a doctor who loves his job, is well respected in his town, is married with kids, and is happy. But he's also a serial child debaucher. He goes on to describe in great detail what he's done to each child, along with the age of the victims and, holy frick, I could barely get through it but I also couldn't not read it. Lots of fake hitman pages with surprisingly low prices. There was probably some other stuff I repressed from my memory. The drug markets. I became a rage addict 5 years ago solely via the darknet markets and have tried a variety of drugs via the markets. I never thought in a million years I'd be a drug addict, much less through online services. How easy it is to find drugs weapons. The drugs didn't surprise me. The packaging, aka stealth used when they ship the drugs they sell, surprised me way more. My mind was literally blown by some of these setups. So freaking clever. A blog where roughly every week they posted a picture of a cat they adopted and wrote a bit. I remember because in mid 2016 I checked it and the latest post was that the cat went outside and was hit by a car. I downloaded Tor and dug in a couple years ago. I went on the Silk Road to look for whatever. What struck me was that it basically looked like Amazon, except you could buy passports and The dark web and the deep web are not the same thing. The deep web is any part of the web that isn't indexed by search engines, which means anything behind a paywall or a site that is password protected, meaning you log onto a part of the deep web every time you access your private email. The dark web is a part of the deep web that is based on peer-to-peer networks and services like Tor. I know I'm that guy. The weird ads. Like some sites have ads for other dark web sites, but they are all just plain weird. A hitman dorky enough to call himself Slade the Blade. For $1,000 you get 100 IDs to frick with. The info is all legit. Mostly dead people. Some high credit score saps who were careless with their info, or who were part of a corporate hack. It's a crapshoot as to what might work and what won't. Mostly people trying to open credit cards, creating passports and driver's licenses, filing tax returns. But the conversations that really disturbed me were the ones about laundering money. It's painfully obvious that the whole dark web and cryptocurrency craze is being driven by the need to wash lots and lots of money, and dead people's checking accounts. Fake business invoices and spoofed online orders are a great way to clean money for pennies on the dollar. It's mostly from drugs and human trafficking, and seeing what was going on in real time with my own two eyes has changed my views towards cryptocurrency radically. Till the dark web is a lot more mundane than I thought. You have been visited by the hamster of joy. Comment I like chicken to live a happy and full of joy like the joy hamster life. Like and subscribe, you magnificent person.